Lugos is dead. Bella Lugos is dead.
Hello and welcome to Halloween.fm. Your spooktacular cast for all you spooktacular folks.
I want to suck your blood.
Oh shit! Oh god, I started hitting buttons. What's going on?
This is the real horror of Halloween.
Don't mind the technical difficulties.
It's a haunted computer. There's a ghost.
There's a ghost in the shell. The shell is the computer.
I'm dead.
I
because
left
that
the
joke was
remote over
bad.
there, and it took me a while to get the remote. That's why we haven't started yet.
Excellent. Well, I mean, yeah, the people were really counting on that immediate jump into quality from Vic and Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Shit, whatever episodes we put out, we might as well just do one big one, right? Just do a big episode right now until the groceries show up.
Yeah, probably.
Because, I can't move. Oh, whoa. Link! What's going on?
Because Bela Lugosi's
I have witnessed your journey. You've overcome a challenge laid before you. What the fuck is happening? Okay.
Someone in the sky. God is
special-
finally
special shit's going
talking to
down.
you.
All the divine beasts are now free. I don't know why he's taking this opportunity to talk to me finally. It's Zelda.
Oh, there she is.
There she is.
Well, that's perfect. That's lovely.
I'm gonna turn her audio up. Hello?
Hurrah.
There we go. We gotta maintain a level of -12. Even though we're gonna get loud, and then it's gonna get
Oh,
it's
EX
gonna be
the
jarring.
Champions ballot. Okay, it must be a special challenge.
Oh, I guess I can do the DLC now.
Yes.
Whoa! I've never done the DLC before.
Paste.
I gotta turn it back down because I'm gonna get loud. Whoa! I can do the DLC. Wow. Where'd you say it
It's
was?
almost
Where do I
like
gotta go?
It said the Champions challenge.
I think it's in the. Oh god, I'm not using the Pro controller. I'm using the Joy-Cons, and it's like agonizing because I'm so used to the Pro controller playing this game. I mean, I'm used to the Joy-Cons playing Fire Emblem. How do I turn this on? The fuck?
Wow.
Oh man,
you're
it's
looking
all
like
like
a real
it's not,
boomer
it's
over
not
here.
turn it on. The controller's dead. Let me get a cable. Oh, that's not gonna reach.
Welcome to Vic and Hope, where we sort out our technical problems during the Let's Play.
No one cares. No one cares. Everyone's off watching fucking Conrad May play Phantasy Star Portable, one of the shittiest games ever made. Oh man, I finally get to talk about that now because Conrad
Hey.
started playing Phantasy Star Portable, which is a game that I have, beaten to completion, of course. And he was playing it. He was like, this looks a lot like Phantasy Star Universe, and it's like it is just a shitty port of Phantasy Star Universe. It's got its own plot, but it's reusing all of the same characters. It's reusing the base game from the beginning. It is just Phantasy Star Universe, but a cheaper, shittier version of it. Actually, as far as a campaign goes, it's a better game than Phantasy Star Universe, because that game's campaign sucked ass. So technically, as a single-player, non-online experience, it is a better game. But it is also a shitty port. Is there any other shrines I can do? I guess I should go to this place and unlock the map, and then I'll be done with the map.
Look at that. The whole map will be
the whole map
fulfilled.
will be... And then we can go beat the game. We could probably beat the game in this session if we wanted to. We could just go beat the game.
Seriously.
We could do it.
We could.
We could beat this game today, and then that would be a perfect closing because this is going to be the last episode before we go to Nihon,
Japan.
I don't think we talked about that last time because I don't think we were planning to go yet.
Yeah, the last time we recorded, we weren't planning on it.
Yeah,
yet.
and we've gone from not planning to go to Japan this year to now on Friday we are gonna leave to go to Japan.
Cause we're insane.
It's really not that we're insane, it's that we're too pragmatic. Because going in the fall was the more pragmatic option in terms of the fact that I've got a break from work, basically, essentially. And I made a bunch of money in the summer. And so it makes more sense to go now than it does next year, where I'll end up missing out on potentially thousands of dollars of work if we go. Which is almost a guarantee just because of the timing that we would be going is I'm almost always busy at that time, you know?
Yeah.
At the end of March and start of April. That's usually when things are the busiest, or there's a fucking feature film going on in town or some shit. Like, there's a lot of things I could miss out on in that amount of time.
Well, that and the spring of 2020 is going to be really close to the Olympic Games being in Tokyo, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely concerned there would be fuckloads more tourists than there usually would
potentially. You know, who knows?
It might be a little too early, but still, that idea makes me uncomfortable.
You're running a risk. And then also, Japan is awesome in the fall.
Yeah.
We're going to get to wear cuter clothes.
It's not going to be hot as
Yeah.
fuck. We won't be sweating our balls
Exactly.
off.
You're not going to be fucking dying walking around the whole time,
Yeah, because
just
we're going to
sweating.
do a lot of walking, so I'd rather not sweat my dick off if I don't have to.
Yeah. So we're going to Japan.
Nihon.
We're going to be there from November 2nd to November 16th if anyone's in Japan and wants to hang out.
So, Victor, why are we going to Japan?
Because we're getting married next year, and it was supposed to be a honeymoon, and then it became it was already going to be...
Before
like,
the wedding.
Yeah. Well, initially it was going to be after the wedding, and then we decided it would be before the wedding because the sakuras would be
The
in
sakura
bloom.
bloom. Yeah.
And then it went from, well, why don't we
That-
just do it in November because it works out better? And so now it's way before the wedding.
And so now I tell people, and they're like, oh, nice, why are you going to Japan? And I'm like, oh, it's our honeymoon. And they're like, oh, when did you get married? And I'm like, we're getting married in April.
You gotta say our early honeymoon. That's what I always say. You say it's our early honeymoon because then, like, people kind of get it.
I guess.
I mean, nobody gets it.
Nobody gets it.
Everyone sucks.
Everyone's like, what the fuck?
I don't know how it's that fucking complicated. Same thing with, like, our goofy wedding ideas.
People...
I don't get how it's so fucking complicated. How many times do I have to explain? I have been to hundreds of weddings. I am jaded to them. I don't
mean,
need a traditional wedding. I
I've
have been to so many of them. It's insane.
I've been to 3 weddings, and I don't give a shit about weddings.
It's like you're constantly teetering on. It's bizarre, you know, where it's like even people's like vows and shit. Where like that's like the special heartfelt part. Everyone says the same shit, and it's weird. It's weird.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to be real fucking creative with my shit
because
so I don't
the
say the same
foundation
shit.
of the vows and the feelings behind them is basically universal.
Yeah.
So everyone says the same thing.
It's like the concept of love is not that complex, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Like a relationship is not that
It's not
it
that
doesn't
unique.
vary that much between people. So it's like people just say all the same
All the
shit.
same things. Yeah.
It's weird.
It's gonna be hard.
Ugh.
That's why I was just like, I don't know. Do we even bother? Like,
kind of,
I'd be better
you know-
if I just like wrote you a letter that
Exactly.
you read on your
Well,
own beforehand or something.
Yeah, what I like the most is that a lot of the times I get to film people when they open gifts for each other and they'll read the letter to camera. And like that to me is usually more significant, and that's where they usually cry and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, because that's a personal thing, and like I've done that for you plenty of times.
Yes.
Where like I know how to do that. And then you can put jokes in, you can put crude things in. You don't have to worry about your fucking grandma and shit.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, at the end of the day, what I feel is that I don't care about other people looking at our wedding. That's all that matters. It's about
Yeah,
us.
Exactly.
I
As
don't
we've said
care
100,000
about the
billion
other people
times.
involved. I want to hang out with them, you know? I want everyone to be there so that we can hang out because
yeah.
we will have fun.
But that's why we're having just a party.
Yeah, the party-
afterwards.
the party
Like,
matters.
That's the whole point, basically.
The party is significant. Getting people together, you know, getting the family together and celebrating because you don't have other excuses to do that.
Right.
That's what matters. That is the special part, you know?
Exactly. That's
The rest of it is
what's
fluff.
worthwhile.
All the bullshit around it is fucking fluff. The venue doesn't really matter. You're not going to capitalize on it. It's just there for photos, you know?
Yeah.
It's just there for photos. So, like, the wedding I shot this fucking weekend, the photographer owned that shit. And it was like, they had no freedom, you know?
Yeah.
It was fucking stressful half the fucking day until, like, I mean, these people at least did the smart thing and gave themselves a ton of time to party, even though they trapped me there for the entire time.
Right?
and
It's
I had
like, well,
nothing to
then
fucking
you were
do.
stuck there.
But it's like the photographer will own your fucking day because it's a transaction to them. They don't care about you. They are
Right.
just getting paid because they're professionals.
You're paying them to take pictures, and damn it, they're gonna take pictures.
And they are gonna hold you to those pictures that you want to an agonizing extent.
Yeah.
And they are gonna
Fuck
get
that,
their shit
honestly.
done because they don't want you to complain to them later.
Right. After you've spent thousands of dollars on these pictures.
And so you spend all this money to stand around and take pictures with every fuck off guest and cousin that you fucking invited because you just wanted more people there, I guess. Or because you felt obligated to invite everyone in the fucking world, even though you've never spoken to them in your entire life. You've never had a conversation with them. But fucking goddamn it, are they gonna get a picture with you during your fucking reception? I don't know. I just, I hate them. I hate them so much.
With photographers?
Well, both. Photographers and weddings.
Yeah.
I mean, with the photographers, I get it, because I'm a video guy, and I'm there. It's an awkward thing, you know,
Yeah.
because you're like, your motivation for filming their wedding is to complete a transaction in which you get paid. And you do that by following a set of things that you must do to fulfill the job of filming the wedding, getting the exact same shit that you get at every other wedding. You know, you're getting all the same shots.
It is a formula.
Because that's what they want. And so it's like, here, you get the same video that guy got, but with another coat of paint on it because you got different decorations and you have a different venue. Unless you got the same shit, and then it's just the same fucking thing. But I guess it's got your people in it instead of that guy's people in it.
Yeah.
But it's weird. I don't know.
It just seems like a tremendous waste of money.
Yeah, it's a huge waste of money. The more you put into it, I think the more it drags down the overall experience and memory of it, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to remember all the shit that you put into it. You're not going to remember the table decorations. That doesn't
Right.
fucking matter. No one
one's
cares.
gonna give a shit.
No one cares about the table decorations.
Uh-oh. Spooky eye. Spooky
That's
boy.
scary, man. I'm looking for the tower. I don't remember where it is. I'm ranting too much. My wedding rant is incoherent.
Yeah, a little bit. Ooh, I just scratched a
Completely
mosquito bite. Fuck.
incoherent. I wish I could explain in a way that makes sense to people. Like,
Well, I
it's
think
not that complicated.
It's just
you
a
know?
matter of what your priorities are.
Yeah.
Because there are people who value that stuff, but
It's like,
we
I
don't.
get it if it tickles you inside, you know, but you
I
gotta
mean,
be
if you
doing
have
it
the
for the
money
right
for it,
reasons.
sure.
Yeah, if you have
but
the
I
money
would
for
feel
it.
guilty as fuck if I
Yeah,
spent money on that.
exactly.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Lord. You better hope that boy ain't coming for you. Get out of there, man. Nice.
Just so many things about it that are just dumb and weird.
As we have established.
Oh,
Oh, right. I really thought you were...
Uh-oh.
Okay, there we go. That's what I was expecting.
Okay. I'm fine.
Hey, that worked out okay.
Where's the tower? It's somewhere
It is
in,
somewhere.
like, in around here, I think. I'm trying to do this by memory. It's over here somewhere.
Well, now
I
that
know
we've
it's like hidden in my mountains.
now that we've talked about weddings,
Why was I on about that?
because
What-
people were
what
giving
the-
us a hard time about the early honeymoon and the
Oh,
simple
yeah.
wedding.
Yeah, same thing with the honeymoon. It's like, it doesn't, like, what difference does it make whether it's before or after? Nothing changes when you put a ring on it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a symbolic gesture that is pretty nice, and it makes life better, and it's sweet and cute and cool, and it is a very nice thing to do. But whether or not you do the vacation before or after doesn't make a
Doesn't really
difference.
matter.
It doesn't change anything.
It's not like because we did the honeymoon beforehand, we're going to like cancel the wedding.
Yup,
It's still gonna happen.
now we're going to
so,
hell.
like,
We're going to hell because we did our honeymoon before. It's like the concept of it is like you're supposed to be, in theory, a virgin until you're married, right?
theoretically.
That's the idea.
In the eyes of the
And then you're
Lord.
supposed to like consummate your first night when you're married. You know, you're supposed to fuck that night. You're supposed to leave the venue, go on your honeymoon, so you can get acclimated to fucking and being together because you haven't lived together yet, because you haven't had sex before. This is the idea of like taking the immediate after wedding honeymoon.
Yeah.
We have lived together for years. We don't need to acclimate to being around each other
But
more
what
than normal.
about what the Lord perceives?
It doesn't matter when the honeymoon is. It's generally around when the wedding is. That's good enough. It's an escape from work.
But, like, people can't comprehend that for whatever reason. It just goes beyond their rationale. I don't know.
Ugh.
It's dumb. Basically.
Yep. I just want to do special things with Hope. Doesn't matter the context.
'Cause you're gay.
I am gay. Doesn't matter what my family thinks. Doesn't matter at all. None of that matters. It just matters is that we have a fun time and special moments.
I mean, all that matters is that everybody has fun.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
That you get to dress up. Like, the most fun parts of weddings to me are, like, that you get to dress up nice, which is cool and fun,
Whoa,
you know?
he vanished.
You get to see all your bros in swanky suits, and you get to feel like you're wealthy for a day, you know? I get to see Hope in a beautiful dress, looking all fucking cute, and then we feel all happy, and we get all fucking cryy, and then you have a good time. Like, that's the good part, you know? Everything around that is fluff. It's bullshit. Gotta have the fun.
The fun is what's important. Prioritize fun.
Yeah.
But then you and I aren't particularly people who like ceremonies and stuff anyway.
Or parties, you know? It's
Well,
like,
yeah.
ceremonies are bullshit, parties
Everything is
are
bullshit.
bullshit. So it's like, whatever. This is just, we're just doing the next best thing close to just fucking off and eloping, which is also a viable option that we were considering doing long before we considered having a wedding party, you know?
Yeah. Everybody really could have just fucked off if we had done that.
Yeah. Because then nobody, I almost wish we had, because then nobody would have known, and it would have been fine, you know?
Oh man, speaking of getting married though, that was a point that I was gonna try to talk about. Because as a girl, when you're getting married, everyone then is immediately like, oh, are you gonna change your last name? Are you gonna hyphenate your last name? What are you gonna do? And like, some of the people around me, when I tell them like what I'm thinking about, like, I don't want to hyphenate, that's fucking retarded.
Yes.
That's
Hyphenating
obnoxious,
is
and it's no. But like, it is a pain in the ass for me to change my name, literally, because I have 2 licenses to my maiden name. So it's gonna be a fucking extra amount of work for me to get those changed.
Yes.
So like, that's really the worst thing about it, is I'm gonna have to fucking
Yeah.
mail a bunch of people, and on top of going to Social Security and all that.
Yeah.
But like, when I would tell certain people that I was thinking about it, they'd like give me this expression like, oh, and then they're like, oh, I didn't think you were the kind of person who would change your name. And I'm like, well, fuck off then. Why'd you
What
even
does
ask
that even
me?
mean? Yeah.
What the fuck? Eat shit then, dude. Well, now
That's
I
pretty
want to
funny.
do it just because you're being an asshole.
Yeah. I have a...
Well, I
I've-
didn't think you would do that. You don't seem like that kind of girl. Well, eat shit and die then.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
I have almost conflicted feelings about the concept of it, where I would not be offended if you did not want to, because I was thinking about it recently with our good friend Christy and Jake, who
Yes.
recently got married, which they had the fucking
They did the
great,
real
yeah,
deal
they did the
alone.
real deal. They just fucked off. They didn't tell anyone. They went to the middle of the desert and got married with just a photographer and an officiant. And it was great, and it was
Yeah,
cool,
it
and
seemed
like they
dope
seemed like
as
they had
fuck,
a great time,
honestly.
and so like that was initially what we were gonna do,
Yeah.
and then it was like, well, it'd be nice to have a party with everyone, you know?
Really, the only reason we didn't was just so we could have a party with everybody.
Yeah,
Like,
and
the
to
rest
say,
of
you know,
it
like
is
I know
pretty
that
inconsequential.
our parents would
Well,
be sad,
Yeah,
you know?
my mom would probably be pretty
Hopefully.
upset.
Even though, like, then my
No, I
parents
don't
are,
know,
then my
whatever.
parents are like, "Do you want us to fly down for your wedding?" I'm like, "No shit! Why do you think I'm doing this?"
See, I think it's lower stakes for your parents because they have
Yeah.
2 other kids, so they're like, they know
I
that eventually
guess.
they'll get to see them get married.
Yeah.
I guess with my parents it's different because I am the only child, so there's only one.
Yeah.
There's only one go here.
Definitely. I know mean a lot to your mom, and so
Yeah.
we're trying not to.
Because
piss
she
off your mom.
immediately, at first she acted like she didn't give a shit, but she did, like, get excited and start like asking her friends to do favors for
Exactly.
the wedding
She
and
got
stuff. So
real
I know she
excited.
was actually
just like my mom
excited.
got excited and posted on Facebook and everything. You know, just like, don't do that.
Please do,
Like,
right.
I don't
It's
want
like,
to invite
don't
my
let
whole
people know
family.
what we're doing. I don't want a bunch of fucking randos showing up. Like, get out of
Yeah.
here.
So it's the compromise between doing what we want to do, which is basically nothing at all except for having a party,
Right.
and doing what they want to do, which is getting to see us get married and have it be a significant thing, you know, and feel pride as a parent for raising us and shit.
I guess.
And they also, you know, they get this compromise because we're paying for this shit out of our pockets and no one
Right.
else is, okay?
Like,
we are not going to
listen.
ask anyone else for any money,
There's-
and so we're going to do
yeah.
whatever the fuck we want.
If we're paying for this, I'm gonna do what I feel is budgetarily appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
And too bad if you don't like it.
But anyways, my interesting thought about
The naming.
the Brins, because
The
that's what they call
Brins.
themselves now,
Ooh.
because his name was
Jake
Jake
Bryn.
Bragg. I mean, I'm totally fucking doxing, but
Oh, fuck,
I mean, no one
sorry.
cares. But whatever. Anyways,
Go back and edit that in post.
I'm not gonna edit it. It doesn't matter. I mean, these are cool guys. I'm not saying anything bad about them, you know.
Yeah.
And you can go check them out on Instagram and be their fan or whatever the fuck. But fucking, it was just interesting because, like, they have always been a filmmaking team together. Like, that's kind of been their thing. That's how their relationship kind of grew.
Right.
And then, like, they get married, and she takes his last name.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just start referring to themselves as, you know,
Yeah.
the Brins.
That is a thing normal people do.
They have adopted, but, like, that's their identity now, you know? And I was just thinking about how she has now taken a name and taken his identity, even though they're equal partners in, like, what they do, and
Yeah.
like, she's incredibly talented and more talented than he is, you know. But now they're the Brins, which is his name.
Yep.
And it's like, it puts him at the forefront of what they're doing.
This is-
it
yeah.
makes him look more important. And then I started thinking about that, and I was like, yeah, like, seeing it in
Like,
that
it's a little bit.
context.
It does,
Yeah.
in a sense, it does kind of oppress women.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, it is.
yeah,
because it was like,
realistically, because you become the whatever the male's last name is.
yeah, it's
So
like
it's
she
like-
had her own identity as who she was, and now she is, you know,
Under
part
the
of
umbrella
him.
of that. Because,
But there is,
yeah, people
like-
get mail and it'll be like Mr. and Mrs. male's first name, male's last name.
Exactly.
It's like the girl may as well not even be there.
But it's like, I do appreciate the significance of, like, you know, you become a pairing and you share a name. Like, I like that idea,
Certainly.
but it's just weird that it is the male's, like, it just ends up coming off that way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know that, like, I don't think that they would think of it that way at all, you know?
I mean,
like,
that's
obviously she
always-
took his name, and she's the kind of girl who, like, has a lot of pride and wouldn't do that if she thinks she's getting put down, you know?
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's always been my biggest problem with that particular tradition.
Yeah.
Is that, like, it kind of shafts the female in the deal. It's like, oh, great. So now I'm just a sublet of you as the male. Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
And then it's like, yeah, for me to ask you to do that, it's like, well, I don't want to take your last name.
You don't
I want
don't wanna
I want
deal with
my
that?
last name. So it's like, you know, what makes my last name better than your last name? I
It's
like the
easier
idea
for everyone
of,
to deal with.
yeah, I like the idea of us sharing a last name, but yeah. So, you know, it is a lot to ask of you.
The solution is that we come up with our own new last name.
Right? I'm like, maybe we just come up with our own
And then we
last
both
name.
have to go to the social security office together.
Yeah. Then we have our own last name. We
We
just
can make
be
it something cool.
Cohen. We could be the Cohens.
Yeah.
But that is technically, you know, that is my dad's birth last name.
Cohen.
We could be the Cohens, and then I could actually become a real director because I'll
Oh,
have a cooler
right.
name.
You sound Jewy enough.
Because Collins is not an adequate last name for a director, so I can finally be a real director because I'll be a real Jew.
I mean, I feel like that would be appropriate for the
Yeah.
weird way that we do everything.
It would.
So,
It would be
it's not,
on
it's,
character.
it's not a bad plan. I feel like that's pretty equal.
It is equal.
Yeah.
I mean, we can consider it.
Pretty
Certainly.
progressive.
Yeah, it's pretty progressive.
It's pretty progressive.
I mean,
yeah.
people change their names all the time.
Yeah.
It is very funny. And then we can go change our IDs and stuff together.
Yeah, exactly. It can be a bonding experience.
We will consider this idea.
I wonder what your
Not the
parents would
worst.
think about that.
Yeah, it'd be pretty funny. I don't know. Maybe we should run it by everyone. see what the jury thinks, which is almost certainly going to be, why would you do that?
Right.
Just like with everything else we do.
Why would you do that?
Everything else we do that to me is just like not that fucking
Right? It's
complicated.
like,
And to
yeah,
everyone
well-
else, it's like, "What? You're defying social norms? What's the point then?
If you're not following tradition, what are you doing with your life?
I don't know. Maybe I'd like to get married because we get a lot of social and economical benefits, and also if you're gonna do that, you might as well make it fun at the same time.
Exactly.
Whoa, but
You may
not
as
break
well
the bank
go whole
because
ham.
then there's no point. It's almost like for the amount that an average person would spend on a wedding, we could make a pretty big down payment on a house. Like, whoa, wouldn't that be a better investment, you know, of our personal money that no one is helping us out with? Gee whiz.
I know we've talked about, for frame of reference, that a normal wedding is like basically $30K.
Yeah,
which is definitely a down
cheap
payment
one
on
is
a
like
house.
$10,000. I think you could do it for $10,000.
I think Kayla tried
for
to and she
cheap.
couldn't.
I mean, she still had a wedding though, and it was still
But
an
no.
adequate
But she
wedding,
paid more
but-
than $10,000.
Oh, okay,
$10,000 was
yeah.
her original budget, and she went over
which makes
that.
it, you know, I'm not an expert in the budgetary breakdowns of these fucking things, but I know you're not going to get a photographer for less than $2,000.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the fucking way of the
Oh,
world, you know?
God.
You can ask favors from people all you want, because that's what I'm going to do. Like, I can get a free
Well,
photographer, because I work for a photographer, and
Right.
I shot his wedding for free. Like, I can do that. I don't know about you, you know, I guess it depends on who you know, what
Right.
strings you can pull.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get a student for pretty cheap, or someone who's not really a professional.
Yep.
Depends on what you want.
Yep.
I guess if you have infinite budget, then fucking go for it. Like Conrad and May are gonna have a budget for their wedding
But
potentially, and
simultaneously,
like
they're not paying
do whatever
for
the fuck
it.
they want. Yeah,
So
exactly. but
that's the difference.
that's where it's like, yeah, if someone were paying for our wedding, it wasn't
know,
a
though.
burden on them. Like that's
Even
the
if-
other difference.
Even if
you know?
someone else was paying for our wedding and it wasn't a burden on them, I don't think I could do it. It's too much. It's
It's
too
a lot.
over the top. Plus,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to plan it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like that would make me want to die.
That's where you get into the different echelons, where it's like, if you plan it yourself, you can save a lot, you know? Did Kayla plan hers herself?
Yes.
And it was still over 10,000.
Yes.
So that's a good frame of reference, you know? That's if you don't have a wedding planner. If
Right.
you do have a wedding planner,
Yes.
which is recommended, you know,
Of
it's going to be
course.
even more expensive. It's just insane because it's an industry. It's a fucking industry where people are out to get your money. Like there's standard rates, you know? You're not going to get that discounted because they can't discount the shit because there are standards. It's an industry. That's how
Yeah.
it works. I don't know. There's probably
don't
cheap ass venues. There's plenty of people who I don't know.
I mean,
you know?
it can be done, but it just
depends.
you have to really be willing to compromise.
I'm curious how much Jeremy spent on his. My buddy Jeremy, his was definitely an affordable wedding because he's a budget guy who does not give a
Yeah.
fuck.
I would
you
be
know?
curious to
Like,
know what Jeremy
Theirs is
spent.
probably the ideal cheap wedding. But they still had, I think, you know, a real photographer. They still had a real venue. You know, it wasn't a rec center. Like, it was
Yeah.
still somewhere. And I think they went, like, well out of their way to go somewhere cheap.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, if you have military connections, you could use, like, an on-base officers club
Yeah.
for really cheap. And they'd probably let you bring on whatever, you
Yeah.
know, food and blah, blah, blah that you want, but...
And then it's like, I don't want to throw too much shade on people who do want an expensive wedding, you know? Like, I get it. It's nice when you're
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
you
I
know?
just-
certain things are nice. Like, venue, like, getting
Yeah,
a nice
sure,
venue
it's
can be
very
pretty
pretty.
cool, but it's just, it doesn't last
I just-
that long, you know? And it's like, it is just for pictures. And it's like,
Yeah.
how much, you know?
I just
Like,
can't in
it
good
just depends on how
conscience
much you value it,
do
and we
that.
just don't value it enough, you know? I don't value, like,
Because
a picture of us is
yeah.
gonna be nice wherever it is. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. The backdrop isn't that important to a picture of us, because that's ultimately what you get in the end, is a memory of where you were and a picture of where you were.
Yeah.
And like, that's it. It's just a day. Like, it's not that significant, you know?
Yeah.
The going to Japan is way more significant to me. Like, that's
sure,
way more
because
memory,
those are
way more
experiences
images,
that,
way
like,
more experiences.
That will be in our memory in a much bigger way, I think.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is just, like, even if someone else was paying for it, in my mind, I would just be thinking of the things that they could have done that would have been more useful with the money than to do a wedding.
And then there's also, like, the, you know, oh, why make your parents fly out if you're not doing that much? But it's like...
Well, you are still their child.
And it's like, well, this is a lot more affordable for them than the alternative, and we're still having a fun party, and it's still going to be a good time.
We're still going to have a party, and there's still going to be, you
And,
know, everyone's
you know,
going to be there.
Fucking, it's either they fucking pay to fly out here and visit us now, or we pay to fly out there and fucking visit them later, so what difference does it make? We're hanging out as a family. They fucking had to move across the country. Like,
Yeah,
it's going to be expensive to see each other regardless. Whether we have a big party or a small party, they still have to fucking fly out to see us, you know?
Yeah. And that's the
Is it going to be more worth it if it's a bigger party to fly out?
Even if we had a big wedding, regardless of how big or small your wedding is, it's still one day. That person is still flying out for one day.
Exactly.
So, who cares how big it is? That person is gonna have to fly out regardless.
And the smaller it is, the more time you actually get to interact with your fucking parents and not everyone else in the world.
If you're inviting 300 people, how much time do you actually get to spend with any one of them?
Mm-hmm. You don't have to worry about your 3rd grade teacher getting up and giving a 10-minute fucking speech about how you would pull up your pants when you walked by. That was legitimately something I had to sit through at a wedding and sit there and film.
Yeah, I
this guy's
that.
3rd grade teacher getting up and being like, I remember him when he was a boy and he was a smart boy because I would come by and he would tuck his pants in. And I was like, God, someone make this dude shut the fuck up. Jesus.
Tuck his pants in.
And then there's like, depending on your people, there's like weird drama that will go on, you know, like some things. Like last night I go into the room where I have my equipment and like one of the bridesmaids is like passed out on a couch like she'd been vomiting and the other girl's like comforting her and shit.
God.
Just like all the more shit that could go on, the more people you have. I guess it depends on if your friends are just a bunch of fucking frat
Yeah,
retards,
I think it depends on the nature of your friends.
Yeah. I just want to hang out with my fucking old school boys.
The boys.
Get drunk, you know, have a good time.
And then we'll be hanging out with the boys again at Marcus's wedding.
Exactly.
And by the boys, I mean Josh. Because that's the only person who's going.
Yes, Josh is the only one who's going to go to Marcus's wedding besides my dad, I guess.
Yeah.
It's gonna be me, you, Josh, and my dad, and no one else. No one else will be there.
I think Sarah's going to, though.
Nice. That's nice. She can meet Marcus. What am I doing? I can't find this fucking tower, and now I'm just giving up.
Why don't you unlock the map, and then...
You unlock the map by finding the tower. That's what I'm trying to do.
I'm
trying to find the... Oh, speaking of Conrad's autism levels.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was a fun time.
that was pretty good. I enjoyed that.
So we are definitely like, what, level 2 autism?
Yeah.
What was his description of level 2?
Level 2 autism is, you still are pretty plot-oriented, but you can be into anachronistic storytelling.
Yeah. See, you know Hope is level 2 autism because she said anachronistic storytelling.
That's what he said in the video.
Yeah, but you remembered what he said, and it was a big word.
A big word.
And it seemed like you're more analytical of what you watch, and he was saying like critics are usually level 2 in his opinion.
Yeah, which is probably pretty fair for the most part. I almost
legit.
had a thought that perhaps at times we could be in level 3, but I think it's pretty.
I don't know. It kind of depends on what it
rare.
is. Because
I do enjoy Monogatari, which is level 3.
Yeah, but do you enjoy Monogatari? Like, do you love Monogatari?
No,
do you
I'm not obsessed with it.
Do you watch every Monogatari? Like, that's what he was talking about. You know?
I mean, you know.
Like, do you watch them all?
I plan on catching up at some point.
But you never will.
Probably not. There's too much.
Because that's where he was getting into the database shit, which I don't think we do at all.
I don't think we're quite database.
I certainly don't do it all. Maybe about, like,
Maybe
fucking
I used
digital
to.
cameras.
I perhaps used to be more database-oriented with the anime I watched. Like, if I started something, I had to complete it. But then I kind of got a job and stopped doing that shit.
I think there was an aspect that he kind of overlooked to an extent, which is the effect of age on your autism.
Yeah.
Because I think when you're a
probably.
teenager, you are inherently more on the
Autistic.
spectrum of what he's talking
Yeah.
about, you know?
Right.
Because I think those levels can apply better to adults who are still acting that way. Because when you're a teen, you're just more autistic no matter what.
For sure.
Like, you're turned up to 11, but it's also because you haven't experienced, you're experiencing everything for the first time,
as much
you know?
media.
So I think the older you get and the more you still fall into those habits, the more you can identify with that level, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of true for any identity. When you're a teen, it's not really like worked out. You're just experimenting and dabbling in things. And then when you're in your 20s and you're still doing the same shit, that's how you know you're fucking
You're actually
like
autistic.
that's how you know you're
True.
Like that is
True
your
autism.
identity, you know? Like if you're being a goth. Like there are people who stay goth into their fucking 20s and you're like,
Yeah.
that motherfucker is a autism as fuck right now. Like that motherfucker is a real fucking blood goth. I am not. I gave up.
Yeah.
Even though I have returned to wearing all black.
Yeah, but you
As
don't
a
do it in a
natural
way that
state.
makes you stand out.
Yes. Which is the best way. I'm a goth in secret.
Feel so goth.
Feel so goth. Alright, what am I doing here?
A
Where does he
puzzle.
go? Where's the
A young puzzle.
where's the
isn't it?
other one for me to see as reference? I don't see it. I'm just gonna put it in places.
Yeah, I mean, just try it out, you know?
But yeah, we're definitely some level 2.
Yeah. I would say that's probably fair. Level 2 is probably where we mostly fall.
Reside. I've never been a databaser per se.
Per se.
Per
I don't
se.
know. You're pretty autistic about cameras.
Yeah, I am very autistic about cameras. And, like, Fire Emblem. I was
and
like,
Fire Emblem.
I've got, like, 140 hours on Fire Emblem, and, like, I know it's autism.
Nice, got 'em.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though I don't think I engage, like, I think Fire Emblem has that potential to be, like, a high-level autism game from what he was describing, because
Yeah.
it is a game about a million characters and their interactions and, like, categorizing them. But, like, I get into it on the level of, like, I know all the characters and their stats, how they work well with each other, you know, their potential classes, like, that, I'm watching videos analyzing that shit. Like, that is some level autism, you
that
know?
is.
But then it's like, it's kind of the same with like fighting games, where it's like,
True.
you can be into fighting games, and then you can be into tier listing and shit, and then it's like, then there's the levels of you can be into tier listing so that you can know the right characters to play because you just want to optimize your performance. Maybe level 1, level 2 engagement, you know?
Yeah.
Then you get into the people making the tier lists, and then you get into the people analyzing the frame data to
Oh my
assist, like,
God.
that's the higher level shit. Like, when he was talking about that, I'm like, yes, this is, you get level 7 Mewtwo King, who's fucking,
Mewtwo King.
like, Mewtwo King is the ultimate autism
Yeah,
of Smash Bros.
definitely.
Like, he is that level 7 shit. He is the ultimate.
He certainly is.
And it's like, yes, you can apply this to any community, and you're gonna get that shit, you know?
Yeah.
You're gonna get those levels. It was pretty good. Pretty accurate.
It is pretty accurate.
I think people would be more responsive to it if he didn't say autism, you know?
But
if
then,
he just
like, what
said,
is it,
like,
you know?
exactly. Well, Asperger's might be easier to get away with.
But that's just
you know?
like a sub portion,
Yeah,
you know?
but it's the more common thing. Like, autism usually implies severe, you know? Like,
I
autism...
guess people might perceive it that way, but Asperger's isn't really the same kind of thing.
Yeah,
you
I don't
know?
know. It's weird. It's on the spectrum, you know? I'm more on the dyslexia end of the spectrum, which is
Yeah,
on the
true.
spectrum. And then the more I hang out with my buddy who's like really dyslexic and really ADHD, the more I'm like, this motherfucker's autistic as fuck and I am autistic as fuck. Because when we are together, there is a clicking. And then when we're around other people, they are not in that click. it exaggerates how weird the two of us are to be together and around people who are not like that at all, you know? It's like, this is tism. This is real tism.
Yeah.
The more I get older and the more I hang out with more and more normies, the more I'm like, yeah, I have some kind of fucking Asperger.
Yeah, the more normies
I
that
act
you
like
hang around, the more you're like, oh, Yeah.
Like, when I'm around other, weirdos, like, I don't think of it that much. It doesn't seem that clear. It seems like I'm a normie among weirder people,
Sure.
But then when I hang out
But
with
then you
these
gotta
normies,
realize, yeah.
like, certain people, Hope knows who I'm talking about, hang out and, like, well, there was a joke we made, we were walking, especially around film people. I'm super autistic. I don't know how to fucking interact with anyone at all. But, like, we're walking out of the film screening that we had just seen, and, like, there's a friend I have who I work with in film who's a total fucking normie. She is on that drinking the fucking normie Kool-Aid shit.
Yeah.
But, like, so my interactions with her are always quite strange, because she's just not on my mental wavelength in any way in terms of, like, weird quirkiness. But, we were making some kind of joke about how we all have some kind of Asperger's because we're doing film, and then she just made a comment like, Victor definitely does, and I was just like,
And I was just like, whoa!
yep, and I'm like, you of all people would think this because I act the weirdest to her,
Yeah,
like,
the way she perceives you is probably the strangest iteration of
she doesn't understand me
you.
at all.
No,
And it's
not
partially
at all.
because I just can't be real with her because, like, she doesn't get it, So it's like, the more I can't be authentic with someone, the more I'm gonna come off like a total spaz. Because
Well, yeah.
I can't articulate,
Because people can perceive
like,
when you are, like, being artificial, but the problem
Yeah.
is just, like,
I just can't be
I can't- yeah,
that
you can't
artificial with
be-
people.
I don't
So
know.
it's strange.
But then, like, there's only so far the superficial normal thing can
Ah! It's
can
because
take you.
I wanna, everything I say is some kind of jaded asshole shit
You're
around
Larry
film
David,
people. Like,
that's
I am
all.
Larry David around them. Like, I'm always making some fucking jaded comment, and then it's like, if you're with people who aren't jaded and don't get it, then you're just like, I don't know what to say to you, because it's that, if you don't have anything good to say, don't say anything at all. That's
Yeah.
how I've kind of lived my life, which is why I don't talk to anyone.
Which is why you don't talk.
Because
right?
if you don't,
Ah, fuck.
don't get my sense of humor, which is shitting on everything and being really negative, then, like, I'm not gonna, I'm not just gonna shit on everything because you're gonna think it's weird,
Right.
And then there's just, like, there's a weird disconnect of, like, I can't really be honest with you because it's gonna be too negative,
Yeah.
and you're not gonna be able to handle it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm maybe not as intense with that as you. And I can kind of make up for it by pretending that I'm not like that, but sometimes it's just like, oh, yeah, these people definitely don't. Yeah, I'm weirding these people out. Whoops.
Because the closer I get to anyone, which Conrad would be on the closest spectrum of this, besides Hope. Hope is the only person I'm not mean to. But like, the closer I am to people, the more I am just harsh and not able to deal with their shit at all. And I'm just like the harshest motherfucker in the world, especially with, like, Josh
Yeah.
and Aaron and Steven and Jeremy, like, the people I'm closest to. It's like, I'm just generally will say the harshest possible shit because I'm not quickly tolerating of their Kool-Aid. I'm not drinking their Kool-Aid.
God, we really fucked up here.
Yeah, I don't know. how
We
to-
really
how to
ate
fix
shit.
this.
Oh, God.
Like, what? Can I teleport to the entrance? Probably.
Oh, can you? Fuck. You might-
Excellent.
Nice. Because I was gonna say, this is gonna be a shit show.
I am an asshole. I'm the worst human being.
know.
I can't turn it off sometimes. Give Hope kisses. I am too mean to people, and I feel bad. And I apologize, and then I'm nice to them, but sometimes I am mean.
I apologize after I'm an asshole.
Particularly when I'm working, it's because I'm very no bullshit when it comes to work. Especially if I'm in a position of leadership. And then it's because if I'm working for other people, I'm quiet because I don't want to, I can't
perceived as
piss
a
them
dick.
off, and, like, I'm had to drink before I went on this ramble. But I'm very assertive as a director, which is why I do well directing over other things, because, like, when I'm working for other people, I have to bite my tongue more with my judgments of what's going on, you know. But if I'm leading, then I am in the critical position of myself, and everyone else is working for me, and I can communicate to them what I'm feeling easily, you know?
Right.
Because I am in the position of overseeing, you know? Like, it is my job to express my opinion in that situation, you know? And I will express it very quickly and vocally and sometimes harshly because I need to get things done.
Yeah.
Like, that I'm good at doing, you know? When you're working for other people, you have to bite your tongue and not express that opinion,
Right.
which leads me to not communicate very much.
Correct.
Because I don't want to shit on something when it's someone else's vision, and I'm not in the position to be judging what their vision is, you know?
Right.
I'm in a position of fulfilling my jobs and duties, and not in a position of criticizing how they're doing things.
God.
Which varies depending on who I'm working for. Some people are like, these people are fucking retarded. And I just have to bite my fucking tongue. That's what makes being in a position of leadership very liberating, because you are not in a position to not vocalize your opinions. This makes sense, yes? I've articulated this well.
I understand what you were saying.
I have nothing else to say on that matter.
Very nice.
So as long as I have communicated this point thoroughly.
Yes. I understand.
Hua. But then when it comes to guys like Josh and Steven and Jeremy, like, I see them as working in the same field as me, and they do not deserve, like, pity, you know? They don't deserve to not get harshness because we're in a working environment, and they need to know the fucking truth. Like Josh with his scripts, it's like, you're my fucking friend and all, but don't come to me with all this shit, because I'm gonna be like...
Don't come to me with
I'm either gonna, if something sucks, I'm gonna fucking tell you with all of his script writing shit. You know, if I think it's not good, I'm just gonna be like, dude, this is shit. Or I'm gonna say you need to fucking get to work, because we're professionals here, you know?
Right.
Stop fucking beating around the bush. Let's get things done. Stop fucking around. You're wasting my goddamn time. This is serious shit. You gotta get woke to the fucking reality of the situation.
Neo-Bokyo.
We get shit done. Hooah. Or something like a 48-hour film I always feel I have a lot of fun with, because that's in a situation where you have no time for bullshit.
And yet somehow bullshit still happens.
Yes.
Well, we are in is this, are you good? Did you express your emotions?
I've expressed my emotions.
Okay. Because,
in my incoherent rambling about how I'm an asshole, in which I come off as an asshole because I am an asshole. Oh shit,
God,
this
are we
is
back
backwards.
down here?
What the fuck?
Oh, it's okay. We can
That's
take this.
fucking dumb. Oh, ooh, oh, oh,
Hey,
oh,
oh.
All that to say, yes, my interactions with people in real life are pretty fucking autistic, if you haven't noticed.
No, I didn't notice. Thank you.
If my description has not been adequate.
No, but thank you for sharing. Well, on that note, since we are in Spooktober, perhaps we can do a quick rundown of some movies we have watched for Spooktober.
Oh, I'm also incredibly bad at formalities. That's a struggle. Like saying hi to people, saying bye to people.
Oh, I don't say bye to people like ever.
Like,
I just fucking leave.
acknowledging them when I
peace.
see them. Like, depending on the mood I'm in. It's like, we show up, I have cut the shit. we are interacting in the situation.
We are
whatever.
interacting in a situation. This is happening.
Bing.
Very nice.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I've got on a tear. Very excited.
I love you. You're a very silly boy.
That being said, everyone check out our newest 48-hour
Yeah.
film, where we have won the 48-hour film festival.
Well, we're
Please,
going to talk about that,
please,
so don't spoil it yet.
Okay. Please give me a high five. Please pat me on the back and
Please suck
validate
my
me.
dick.
Please acknowledge that I am a smart and clever boy, and that I am quite talented, because that's all the festival is good for in the end is a slight validation for a short period of time. What's this? It's not doing the thing anymore. Do I gotta leave it there?
Seems to, yeah.
Go. Move me! Yes. I fuck up. Okay, I gotta put it down on the track.
Yeah.
This is a fucking awesome puzzle. Like, this is the best room in the fucking game, dude. I'm loving this.
Is this McDonald's? Because you're loving it?
Yeah, bro. Oh, there we go. I can, like, power it with that block. Or something. This would be great if I were doing it right.
Right?
This would be
yeah,
awesome.
this would probably be really, really nice.
Yeah.
I feel like...
Go, you motherfucker!
I feel like we're doing something wrong.
Certainly.
It's probably super obvious, but...
I think you just gotta keep it there for a certain amount of time.
Yeah,
for
it has to
activate
charge up. And then it'll move.
It's gotta complete the whole circuit. Okay, there we go. I'm at the end. I'm gonna keep my guy. I did it!
Nice.
All that for the same equal reward.
Dude.
This is basically
yeah.
communism. This game is communism.
Alright,
You
yeah.
do humongously varying levels of work and you get paid the same amount regardless. Communism.
Sounds right, yes.
Anyways, continue. Horror movies?
So we watched a bunch of spooky movies.
We've
this
watched quite a few
month
movies.
For Spooktober. Oops, I accidentally scooted a bunch of shit around. Let's see. We watched, wait, you didn't watch Candyman with me, did you?
Candyman?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You came in for the last, like, 30 minutes of Candyman.
It was about a black man fucking a white woman.
Yep, that is what the movie's about.
It just was about a black man wanting to fuck white women.
Yep.
And white dudes not having that shit.
Correct. That
Even
does
though,
seem
like,
to be.
the Candyman was still the bad guy in the end.
He was. He was a photographer and he fucked a white girl and her dad was like, I don't think so, and then they
Yeah,
lynched him
they
and he
lynched
was
that
the bad
motherfucker.
guy.
Yeah,
Candyman.
somehow he was still the bad guy.
So yeah. Not sure how much I really enjoyed it. I mean,
And
I
then
guess it
in
was
the end,
neat.
he fucked the main white lady, and then she became the Candyman.
Yeah.
Somehow, I don't understand why that
In the power
transaction
of
happened,
ghost
but
magic.
he did fuck a white woman
She
in the end.
became the Candyman.
It was basically an entire movie about this woman realizing she wanted to be fucked by a scary black man. And
Yeah.
then she got that black dick, and then that's
well, he
how
also
the
had
movie
the hook
concluded.
hand.
He
so,
did
I
have the hook
mean,
hand.
That's something.
He did fuck her with the hook hand.
That's true.
That is
he
canon
did
that happened
use
in the
the hook
movie.
hand on her, so
It was an interesting movie.
it was
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's something, you know. I guess it's still better than a lot of modern horror movies.
Certainly. That's not hard.
Well, yeah.
You
I mean, the bar is
literally-
really fucking low.
all
It's
you
like
need
Truth or
is,
Dare
like-
and Candyman, and you're like, well, Candyman's better, obviously.
Because something interesting happened. Whoa. An interesting concept was there. How did I end up in permanent first-person mode? This is confusing. I don't know how to get out.
Get out.
That's a good
That's
modern
a
horror movie.
Heyo.
Anyways.
So yeah, Candyman. It's on Netflix. Watch it maybe if you haven't. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We also watched Rosemary's Baby, which was
yeah.
neat.
It was
neat,
alright.
Slow burn. You're like, yeah, alright, it's cool.
My come away analysis of that was just that movies are so much more shocking now that older movies just aren't that shocking.
Yeah.
You know,
You
Where
watch
it's
it and you're like, oh yeah. Well,
it seemed like a
makes
movie
sense.
where at the time it was probably really fucking
People,
disturbing
yeah.
and shocking, and now it's just like, eh.
Yeah.
Like,
now you're just like, well, oh yeah,
Okay.
the baby is a demon.
have you seen
Obviously.
Hereditary though, bro?
True.
Bro.
Yeah. Yas. So yeah, we watched Rosemary's Baby. That was pretty neat.
I found it.
Got him.
The Tower of Passage, man, spirits, now never to be there, but they know. Connor don't know that one, but you don't know that one. That's
Very
pearls,
nice.
pearls and brass.
I'm very
I
proud
did
of
that
you.
for him. I'm very wired right now from this monster. Somehow it's working today. You can tell by my speed of speaking in my volume.
Yeah, you are pretty.
I'm being goofy.
Pretty,
I got riled up.
Yeah.
The monster combined with my hatred of everyone for judging us on our wedding. And then my pure autism it's all combined into ultimate
Ultimate autism.
yes, ultimatism. My
Right.
autism is flaring.
Let's see. I watched most of The Changeling, which was boring.
What was that about?
There's a guy and he's taking a trip to like the snowy mountains with his daughter and his wife, and then his daughter and his wife get murdered in a car accident, and then he's real sad, so he moves into a mansion by himself to write music, and there's a ghost in the mansion, and that's it basically.
Nice.
People like this movie a lot, apparently. I see it touted all over Twitter as like a classic. I thought it was pretty boring.
I mean, horror fans are also all fucking brain dead and retarded as shit, so what do you know? They all have fucking dog shit taste.
Whatever. Changeling, yeah, I didn't even finish it, honestly. I was too bored, and I
Maybe
turned
it
it
was
off.
one of those where the ending is just like really good. Like most of these horror movies that are, whoa, it's the dragon!
Hey, he is. It's that boy. Speaking of
Cool.
other movies, though, I did watch Black Christmas, which I thought would be extremely overhyped, but it was
Kurisumasu.
fucking cool as shit. I loved it.
Nice.
It was dope, and I was quite surprised to learn that the director of Black Christmas is the same person who directed a Christmas Story, which is a movie I don't like at
Son
all.
of a bitch. You see, this is another example of a really cool path up this thing to get to this tower that I have ignored
That
by
you
climbing
ignored?
mountains, and
Yeah.
now I'm going back down. I'm going back
You can
down.
move mountains.
So I'm gonna fucking
You
do
can
that.
move
I
mountains.
can move mountains. I can move mountains. Oh god, we gotta talk
If I
about that.
believe I can do anything, I can move mountains.
I'm going back to the start, because look, it's obviously a much cooler way. Here we go. Let's go back to the start. I don't know how I missed this whole path. It's right from the shrine where I was. I just
Yeah.
couldn't see it.
You sure fucked up.
Because they fucked up the game design by trying to
But,
make it an open world.
Yeah, don't like A Christmas Story at all. But Black Christmas, pretty fucking dope. Has like an actually cool story about, women's rights to have autonomy over their own bodies and like be a person and stuff.
Nice.
And it also is aesthetic as shit.
I think I saw part of that one. Right?
Yeah, you were there for the first like hour, and then you
Yeah.
left to go somewhere.
God damn.
And I finished it, and it was pretty fucking cool. Has some
Nice.
neat kills, some very aesthetic kills going
I'll have to
on.
watch it again next year with me.
Yeah,
Oh!
we should watch it for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
great.
Yeah.
I would definitely watch it again because I was kind of passively doing housework also, so I'm sure I missed some cool stuff. But it has great atmosphere. It's got a fucking QT 70s actress lady, and
Nice.
she's pretty cool. It's neat. It's really good.
QTs.
I liked
That's all
it.
that matters. Is
Yeah.
that the main girl is cute in these horror films.
Yeah.
Quite important, right?
It's real interesting that the leads in these older horror movies tend to just look and be so much like cooler somehow.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to modern horror leads
Well,
where you're like, oh, okay.
It's that shit.
You're an idiot. I get it.
like with Conrad with the 90s anime, where it's like, even though the 90s anime like had more tits and more girls like getting almost raped and stuff,
yeah.
like they were way cooler protagonists.
cooler.
They were the main character, you
Yeah.
know. They were aesthetic as fuck, like, and now it's
Yeah.
just all
I feel
fucking
like
cringy bullshit, you know.
horror anime, female horror protagonists now, like basically their whole character is that they see something and they scream.
Yeah.
Or they just act terrified and like cringe.
It's just
and
not
it's like,
made
okay,
to be
great.
interesting at
This is
all.
super good. Thank you.
And then like they'll try to do like fake empowerment, but
Yeah.
they never end up.
That's the thing is it's
like-
bullshit. Like Black Christmas, that movie really actually does empower the female lead. Like she has this like I don't know if any of you haven't seen Black Christmas. It's like fucking 40 years old. But like she has a struggle and she gets through it, and at the end it's like, yeah, she's a fucking badass. It's awesome. And she's so cool the whole time. And you're just like, yes, this is great.
Yeah.
And and then in modern horror movies, it's like some fucking dipshit 16-year-old who's played by a 27-year-old,
Yeah.
and she's literally vapid and brain dead, and you're just like, okay.
And it might be the modern movie obsession with like trying. It's really an acting obsession with realism over character acting, which older movies tended to do. Where now everyone's trying to be like realistic to modern time, you know.
But like they don't act like real people,
Yeah.
so what's the fucking point?
But it ends up feeling even more fake
Yeah.
than like being an interesting character with a personality, you know?
Definitely. Even like we also watched well, you didn't, but
Just
I
like
watched
the girl in Hellraiser's a badass. You
Yeah,
got Alien,
dude.
she's a
The
badass.
girls
They don't
in
even have to
fucking
do that much,
Hellraiser-
you know?
so cool. They take
It's
care.
just
They
so
hold
much
shit
cooler.
down, dude. They don't
Yeah.
fucking play games. Can you imagine if someone, God, the female lead in Hellraiser, if it was like, I know they're making a Hellraiser reboot. You don't have to. I'm aware. I'm sure the female lead's gonna fucking suck, or it'll be one of those things
course.
where it's like girl power. Oh, I'm so strong and independent. Ooh.
Yeah.
And they have to fucking make it so obnoxious.
But it's all fucking ham-fisted, you know?
And it's like, oh my god, subtlety, please, Jesus Christ. Even in a movie like I watched Suspiria with a couple of friends in the 70s Dario Argento.
That was actually one where the new
Argento
one, like, nailed having cool girls, you
Yeah,
know?
wow. Oh, that is true. That is one where
Yeah.
a horror movie in 2018 nailed having cool-ass female protagonists. But
Yeah.
even the 1970s Suspiria, it's like, you know, they were still pretty cool and capable and kind of reacted the way a person with any common sense would
Yeah.
react. And in the end, like, she takes care of shit. And you're like, fuck yeah, dude. That was dope.
Yeah.
And they look cool because they're in the 70s. Everything looks so fucking cool. I don't know, man.
70s girls do look cool.
It's so cool.
Love it.
It's a shame.
There's just such a difference in voice and posture and, like, everything. It's just like...
everything. I can't really describe it succinctly. It's just cooler.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like it was a deliberate acting aesthetic that's gone now, you know?
Yeah, I guess so.
Where it's hard to believe that people legitimately, like, just acted a different way because you feel like old people don't act that way, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you've never met anyone who talks like an actress from the 70s.
No.
Like, it's strange.
It is
But
weird.
they're
but
cool.
you buy it, you know? You
Yeah.
believe that, like, that person is a real person in this world.
That was something that, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood did well because they
True.
like literally I don't know if anyone else thinks about that, but the girls in that movie acted like actresses in the 70s.
Yeah,
like
they
it was
did.
very interesting.
You're right.
It's even down to like the way they walk, the way they talk, you know, the way they hold their posture. It's like there's a distinct aesthetic to
There
that
is,
in
yeah,
70s
a really
movies.
specific
It's
aesthetic.
very interesting.
It is. It really is interesting.
Maybe it's
to go back and
because
see
girls
that.
did pay more attention to posture back then because it was kind of a forced, like, proper thing. I don't know.
I don't know. I couldn't say
But
because I'm
there's
not
usually
sure.
like the
really-
sort of breathy, soft voice that's interesting.
Yeah. A lot of yeah. I mean that's true, but I don't know. It's cool as shit.
Yeah.
We also watched a modern horror movie, actually on the recommendation of Nick Spears, which was
yeah.
surprising.
Which was, pretty cool. The
There was
tunnel
a
one.
Australian horror movie called The Tunnel. It is found footage, but it was actually really pretty good. I enjoyed it a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll say the first 15 to 20 minutes,
Ah!
I wasn't super into it. It was a bit of a slow start, but once
Yeah.
they got into the shit, it was like, yeah. This is
It
great.
was well done. It was a good, like, super low budget
Exactly.
indie movie, you know?
And you can get into it. It has that good atmosphere. There is like a scene with the monster in it that I thought was executed really well. Like when they're in the water and
Oh,
that
God,
dude
that
is
was
in there, and you're like,
fucking great, yeah.
oh.
Stuff in the water was all
Oh,
awesome.
you can watch The Tunnel actually for free on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So hey, if you don't
That's
have
nice.
any expensive subscription accounts, it's free. So go watch it, cause it's like what, an hour and a half, and it's a good time.
Oh, another movie we watched that you fell asleep during that wasn't as good was the 80s Vampire Hunter D movie.
Oh no! Did it end up not being good?
It's not really good.
Womp womp.
Like, you didn't seem into it at all when we were watching
I-
it, and then you fell asleep, and I was like, oh, Hope must be in agony.
No, it wasn't. The opening was cool, but then it just
just like
kind of
nothing-
did stuff, and I was like, eh.
It very much meanders. It like doesn't really have a satisfying conclusion because like it's not like the 90s one where it's really well animated and like
Yeah.
really fucking badass and cool and like aesthetically insane. We should watch that one too.
Yeah, I think I'd
one is
probably
way
have
more
more,
high effort.
interest in that than this one. Definitely, like the opening sequence where everything is kind of like palette shifted, like that was
Yeah,
really neat,
that was
and I
pretty
liked
cool.
that a lot.
It was off to a good start.
But once it got away from that, it kind of just became anime,
Yeah.
and I was
And
like,
it doesn't-
I fell asleep.
Yeah. It doesn't have like good old animation or anything.
No,
it's just kind of like
it's just
normal.
kind of there. So
It's not great.
Yeah.
We ended up watching it just because I saw a guy on Instagram watching it that had a cool. He like found the best moment.
found the best part of it.
The entire movie and posted that, and I was like, "Whoa, that looks like fun." I haven't seen that one. You know, maybe we should watch the original Vampire Underneath.
Yeah, and then I fell asleep.
Like, no, this is just like a lame old book adaptation that is pretty goofy. It's like the original fucking isekai.
Jesus.
Some fucking empowerment shit, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't intend to fall asleep, but I was pretty tired, and I did.
It was alright. It wasn't bad.
I'm sure it wasn't bad.
It just wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was just a little doofy.
Yeah. And then most recently, we went to the theaters to see a horror movie. I guess you could call it a horror movie, but perhaps that's not the best description.
What did we see?
We saw Robert Eggers' The Lighthouse.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Which was super cool. If you guys have a chance to see that in your local theater or, wherever, please do. It's super neat.
Very nice. If you have a hankering for some fucking nice masculine,
it's quite masculine,
fucking masculine ass dialogue movie. Like if you want to hear some fucking masculine dudes having some pretty hilarious dialogue and ripping into each other and getting drunk, like this is a great movie, man. This is some of the best fucking dialogue in fucking decades. Like it was so much fun, very funny.
Very funny.
While also being
really kind of
spooky.
Spooky. I would say it's the best pseudo Lovecraftian movie I've seen in a long time.
For sure. And it's like this is gonna be quoted by film people for
sure.
forever, you know?
Yeah.
By film bros. Everyone's gonna love this fucking movie.
If y'all were dubious of Robert Pattinson's ability to act because he was in Twilight, this movie will reassure you that he is in fact an actor and he can do it.
He's pretty classy.
He fucking nails it. Him and Willem Dafoe, just Jesus Christ. They fucking knock it out of the park, dude.
If you are a movie person, if you appreciate good aesthetics, this is a must-see, you know? Like, if you're a guy who's fucking into Quentin Tarantino, you can fuck with some Darren Aronofsky. If you're into movies, if you're into fucking movies, you gotta see this movie. Cause this is a fucking movie, bro. This is a fucking Spielberg, like, level, considering it a movie. This ain't no fucking Marvel movie shit, bro. This is some patrician shit.
This is not a popcorn movie.
Don't fuck
Do not
around.
come to this movie thinking that you're gonna be able to check out and just passively consume. Because you will need to mentally engage with this movie.
Yeah. This is a movie for people who like movies. Like, for sure.
Yeah.
If you don't like movies, don't watch this movie. It's a movies movie, man. This is a movie, bro.
It's a movie, man. It's movie.
This is a movie, bro. This is a movie. It's one of those where it's like, it's one of those pieces of art that is made for the sake of itself. It is made for the sake of the art. It is made with the art first and the audience second.
Yes.
You know? This is...
much like Promare in that sense.
Yeah. For sure. Exactly. Like, this is a movie made, like, almost like Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Like, that is made for Tarantino. That is not made for you.
And then if you like it, cool.
It's not made for Tarantino fans. It is made for Tarantino because of the craft. Like, this is a movie about the craft, you know? It is the craft of dialogue. It's about how they went in on these accents and shit, and, like, it's impressive. It's about what you can do in black and white with a 4:3 aspect ratio. Like, this is a craft.
Definitely.
Like, they made this to have fun and indulge.
Yeah.
Like, it is not a movie made to appeal to other people.
It's very apparent that Robert Eggers loves delving into characters that have these accents that are so bizarre. Because, like, The Witch is the same way, where they have that, like, weird Puritan, real early settler fucking accent that's impossible to parse without subtitles. This movie, I don't think you need subtitles to understand it.
Yeah,
you can definitely, once you've adjusted, you'll know what they're saying. It's not a problem.
It just takes a minute to adjust to their speaking style, but then you get it. And then it enhances it so much because of their hilarious words. Because of the
way that they
goofy
speak,
word choice. It's very nice.
It is really funny. It's great. It's a great movie. The other cool thing was when we went to our showing, representatives from A24 were actually there and handing out, like, audience surveys, like, actually polling people's opinion.
A24 produces a lot of independent movies, mostly horror, but they've
do a
been
lot
on
of non-horror
point,
too, though.
Yeah, they're fucking great. Like, I love them because they are fucking keeping the shit real, man.
Yeah, in a world full of Disney and Marvel, it feels so good to have an A24.
In a world full of
theaters.
mediocre bullshit, they are producing movies like this one that exists for the sake of itself, and that's the purest form, you know? This is an auteur piece. Like, this is fucking...
It's
The best art is always art made for the artist because they want to see it, you know?
Because that's someone's pure vision that
exist.
you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's not the watered down bullshit that has mass appeal.
It's
because
not-
anyone can
yeah.
make something like that.
Like, there's intentionality in art, you know, where Detective Pikachu is made first to sell Pikachu.
Yes.
The movie being good is the afterthought. Like, that's the criteria that they have to meet. But the goal of the movie is to make Detective Pikachu, you know? It's to sell toys. Like, it can still be good.
Certainly.
Marvel movies can still be good, but the first goal is just for the sake of making the movie. Like, the Star Wars movies are the worst example. Star Wars as a franchise continues because of money. That is the first obligation.
Yep.
It is not because someone wants to make it.
There
you know?
isn't. It's not that a story that needed to be told existed and then they made those movies. It's that the movies exist to make money.
And that's like what, I don't know if everyone knows, but Scorsese's been a big controversy in the film community lately.
Which I don't know why anyone is
his
shocked.
shitting on Marvel. Yeah, it's
this.
no shock. It's no surprise. But it's
no
like,
dip.
that is what he meant when he was saying that shit, at least to me, is that it's just like, those movies are not made for the same intentions that the movies that he came up on were,
Yeah.
you know?
And I think also the problem is that's blown way out of proportion because the interview was chopped up into such a way that made him look like more of an asshole than he really was. What he really was saying wasn't that, like, those movies shouldn't exist.
Yeah.
He was, just like you said, he's saying that's not the same kind of movie as what he would craft or what is an artist's vision.
Yeah. It's just, it's coming from a different place, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Of course, the
like, I
A24 survey was
kind of-
also pretty hilarious because they're like, "What movies have you seen in the last the last year?" And it's all the all the movies that you would expect someone who would go see The Lighthouse
Yes,
would be interested
exactly.
in. And they're like, "What movies do you want to see?" And it's all the movies that people who would see this, like Parasite and Jojo Rabbit. It's all the catering, to that
But
particular
that's
aesthetic.
like, that's the data they need because they need to see what percentage of people came because they're fans of movies like that and people who came because of other reasons. Like, they saw the ad on Instagram. Like, they had all that. The survey had analytics about, like, where you saw ads, that kind of thing, to see what ads are working, what ads aren't, who they're drawing in.
Yeah.
If they're drawing in, if they're putting
And
ads on
where
Instagram.
you saw that, why you came, and then what you thought about the movie.
Exactly. Like, it's important to see, where you're coming from, to see, is their marketing on Instagram just drawing in people who hate the movie and bring the rating down,
Yeah.
Like, you don't want that. Like, you want more people to see it, but you want to market in the places where the people who are going to appreciate it are going to see it,
Yeah, definitely.
And then also for producing further movies, it's like, was having those big actors effective marketing for the movie?
Right. Were
Which
the
it
actors
probably
the
was.
draw,
Yeah.
or
Or was the director the draw? How do you market that? When you sell the DVD, are you going to sell it as the creator of The Witch,
Yeah.
Or are you going to sell it as
These
Robert
actors are in it,
Pattinson,
right?
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe, Robert Pattinson.
Which is the information that, these studios are always desperate for. Which the best way to do is just to go ask.
Yeah, like literally poll your audience.
Yeah.
That will answer that question.
Tried to do a good job with it. I even lied to give them information because there was stuff like the trailer for the movie The Waves.
Yeah.
And like that movie looks incredible, but it looks like
yeah.
it doesn't appeal to us at all.
Right.
So I was just like, I just put that we would go see it because
I did also put that we'd probably
Yeah.
go see it just because it looks so good. Like it aesthetically, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I don't know that the
almost-
plot is
yeah.
anything that I would give a shit about.
I kind of feel obligated to see it just to support, a movie
it,
like
right.
that.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like I said, when I saw that, I was like, Jesus, this is like something Dewey would do.
Yeah, it was
It's
very.
insane.
It just looks really gorgeous,
Yeah.
and like the cinematography alone justifies this movie's existence.
Definitely.
Like even in the fucking trailer, it just looks
God,
incredible.
yeah.
Like aesthetically perfect.
Yeah.
Ah!
Really, really beautiful movie.
Oh, that exploded on me.
Sure did.
Shit, what were we on about? Yeah, we saw a movie.
Yeah, we saw
Oh,
The Lighthouse.
Yeah, it was great. What else did we see? We've been to the theater a few times.
Have we?
I think.
What else did we
We
see?
saw something else in theaters, right?
Oh, we can talk about that in a minute. I did have that written down,
Okay.
I think. I also watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was
a
pretty
goofy,
neat.
That was a goofy, fun time.
Yeah. It definitely I don't know. There's something charming about that movie that you don't get in modern
Because
gore hound movies.
It's not pretentious,
Yeah.
Like the modern iterations of even that franchise, they're all pretentious. They're all trying so fucking hard. You
Yeah,
know?
I think
They're-
that's the problem.
They're not fun in any way, whereas that movie was fun.
Yeah.
It was goofy. It was trying.
The
it was trying to
70s were
say
a better
something.
time for horror. They just were.
And it's just, it's the depreciating value of a franchise where it's just like now it's being made for the sake of itself and not because the artist had something to say, like with anything else.
Yeah.
It's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre continues, Hellraiser continues because it's a franchise.
Yeah.
And like it shouldn't exist anymore. It was made originally with a vision behind it. And now there's no vision, There were books. Hellraiser had books.
Had actually it's based on a novella, a single novella.
A single novella. Like there was something there originally, an author had a unique
clever.
idea and expressed that. And now it's just fucking some fan fiction made by the guy who did the costume designs. Like that's what the
Yeah,
franchise
it's
has been for
really been
fucking 20
bastardized.
years. It's insane.
It's gross. Did we watch any other horror movies? I think that might cover our bases for right now. But I watched a lot of classics this year. Classics I'd never seen before.
Horror movies.
I mean, I watched my typical bullshit
I'm gonna
Netflix
check on
fare.
the recordings. We've been going for a while.
Yeah, we've
While
been
this
going
cutscene's
for
going.
a little bit over an hour.
Please tell me we're still recording.
I'll be
Or
really
die.
sad if all that horror movie analysis.
It's still there.
Okay,
it's still
good.
there. Hour and 17. Cool.
Nice.
Okay. Thank God.
Sorry if you don't care about horror movies, but I do care. So.
I think we're it's interesting enough for people, right?
But yeah, so
People watch the Jesse's Spooktober
Scary,
shit,
spooky bullshit.
Scary spooky bullshit.
Yeah, I love scary spooky bullshit. That's great.
It is the best.
Super fun. But yeah, I think that covers most of the classics. I do want to still watch Don't Scare Jessica or Let's Scare Jessica to Death. That's on my watch list.
I see.
I want to see Lords of Salem at some point.
Ooh.
But that's behind the HBO paywall, so I kind of would have to go out of my way to watch that.
I should just get us HBO for a little while.
I think it's HBO Max.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a different HBO.
I don't
No,
I don't know how HBO handles
You get
that
everything
shit.
when you get the online stuff.
So, I don't know. Doesn't really matter. But yeah. And then at some point I want us to watch Violence Voyager, which
Violence
is like
Voyager.
a Japanese animated film about kids that stumble into a theme park called Violence Voyager, and apparently it's animated with you've never seen Yamishibai, have you?
It sounds familiar.
I think I've shown it to you, but you weren't really interested in it. But for
Oh, wait,
those of
that's
you
the-
that
the
are
short
aware,
horror thing,
yes,
right? Yeah.
But they have that
Saw a
like
couple of
paper
those.
craft
Yeah.
aesthetic. That's
Yeah.
how Violence Voyager is animated as well.
Neat.
I think you can only see it right now on Vimeo, and it's like $4 to rent it. Haven't watched it yet, so I can't tell you if it's good or not, but I would like to see it. So there's that. Those are the outstanding things that I think I want to I want to see.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I think that covers the basis for horror movies. As far as other movies we saw in theaters, we did see Joker.
Oh yeah, Joker. Sorry, I got distracted on.
I figured.
I had a thought about another thought about weddings that I wanted to express.
Oh, okay. Well, just so you know, our groceries are on the way.
Oh shit! All right, well let me get this out.
Sure.
I was thinking again about the whole big wedding thing, and then this is not. I don't know this beyond a shadow of a doubt, but I'm fairly confident in this.
Sure.
Because there are licensing rights around music.
Yeah.
There are licensing, like, it's the same thing with, like, FBI warning in front of the fucking movies, where it's like, you cannot screen a movie in your home legally to more than, like, 30 people. That is a thing.
Okay.
So, you go do a wedding, you have to get a venue.
Yes.
The venue, legally, cannot play music that...
They don't have a license to.
Yes. That's why you have to hire a DJ. The DJ cannot legally play music that he does not have the license to. They have packages. They have club music. They have a set list of songs that they have the license and right to play.
Ugh.
Therefore, you cannot ask them to play music that they don't own unless they can get the license for it.
That's...
I am fairly certain that is a fact.
Yeah.
You can fact check me on it, but that is what I've been kind of led to believe through being in this industry.
You're probably right.
So you have the option of not having a DJ and playing your own music, but the venue has to be okay with that for one.
Yeah.
And then if they are okay with that, now you need speakers to play the music for a big enough audience to be able to hear. You typically, you hire a DJ because first they have the rights to all the music, they have the equipment, they have the speakers, they have the lighting, they provide all of this. You're not going to have your friend operate the DJ table, You have to hire someone to do that, to operate the music. Regardless of what music you're playing, someone's got to do that. That guy is called a DJ. He comes with speakers, turntables, a laptop, and a set list of music that you get to choose from. I feel like I've seen people add certain things, but I don't know the limits of that, because it seems like they're very limited, because I've done hundreds of weddings, and it's all been the same shit.
Music?
It's all the same shit. I've never heard anything that unique, So like that, I have been led to believe this. If I'm wrong, that would be fucking great. I would love that, because then I could potentially hire a cheap DJ and have him play whatever the fuck I want. But I've never seen that done ever.
I'm
never
really
done.
not sure.
You go to a venue, you have DJs. A lot of the time, they're preferred vendors. A lot of venues won't let you hire whoever the fuck. They have preferred vendors that you have to choose from.
Yeah.
Depending on how fucking classy it gets. The DJ has a set list. The DJ has certain equipment, and you are confined to live in their world. So you are confined to the same shitty music at every shitty wedding. That drives me insane. It is awful. And you're gonna do the cha-cha slide. You're gonna do the fucking electric slide. You're gonna do the fucking wobble. You're gonna do all these stupid dances. You're gonna hear all the same fucking music. Sometimes it can be good. You can get some Kendrick Lamar in there. You can get some good shit. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I would like to play whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I don't want to be constrained to the fucking radio hits.
Yeah. It's like you can go back. They have a backlog of old music. Like that stuff can be good. There's some radio hits that are great,
Yeah.
But like you're choosing a set list of what this DJ is allowed to play.
I think the real
they have to buy
is,
licenses to this music.
The real determining factor is, do they have the rights to Gangnam Style?
They do, probably, definitely. So you could get Gangnam Style.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You get
Let's
a lot
hire
of Kendrick
DJ
Lamar.
right now.
Like you can get a lot of good shit. It's just like
It's not exactly the shit
yeah,
that you might want.
You might not want it.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a lot of Korok scenes. Let's do this.
Sell them, dude. Get
And we gotta watch this dance every time.
33 dances.
Oh god, I'm starting to get affected by the rehab too.
Uh-oh.
So the groceries are on the way?
Yeah, they should be here in a minute.
Should we wrap this up?
Oh, I still have more to talk about.
Should we do another episode after we get the groceries?
Yeah, let's do that.
Shield stash. All right, we're gonna cut the episode. I'm gonna buy
Holy
and spend all my
shit.
Korok seeds because I have like 90 of them, and then we're gonna get back to it. Can we go over here?
Database. Whoa.
Living in the database. Anyways, that's my cautionary tale of like figuring out the music at your wedding. For anyone getting married, it's a complicated thing. You gotta figure it out.
Yeah.
Or, maybe you're fine dealing with the, maybe you don't care, you just want everyone to dance and have fun, and you're gonna get some dancey jams, you'll have some good jams, you'll have some lame jams. It's at the DJ's discretion most of the time to play whatever the fuck they want and feel out the moment. A lot of them are bad.
Yeah.
A lot of them fucking suck and make terrible choices. Some of them are great. I don't know. Depends on who you got. If you really want to see your grandma dance to Wobble, go ahead. If that's important to you, if it's important for your aunts to dance the Wobble song, fucking whatever. Go ahead. If you love the electric slide, if you love the cha-cha slide, fine. Be my guest. The couple of this Saturday's wedding, they loved the cha-cha slide. They were it came on, they're like, oh my god, we gotta do the cha-cha slide. And I was like, they're insane. I don't understand. It's the same slide every time. Yeah. You can go anywhere and do the cha-cha slide. You know how many times I've seen the cha-cha slide?
How many?
At least it's over 100 for sure. Over 100 times I've seen people do the cha-cha slide.
Excellent.
If you don't know what it is, look it up. I don't know what the Wobble song is called. The Wobble song is even worse because it's about fucking girls with fat asses, and then your aunt is there and she's dancing, and you're because people don't pay attention to the lyrics of anything. It's incredibly absurd.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
It's very funny.
That's not very family friendly.
I love the lyrics of all these club songs that they play while your grandma is fucking dancing and shit. And I'm like, this is bizarre what our culture accepts as long as you can dance to it and it's in the setting of a wedding. Where it's this absurd. Because everyone, at the end of the day, no one cares. Everyone loves it, All these old bitches just want to feel they want to cut loose and be like, yeah, I'm hot and I'm dancing. Every time. You see it in their face. No one cares. When the gloves are off, when the alcohol's in the system, no one is a prude anymore.
The great equalizer.
They're all down there. They all fucking love it. They all love, hey, big girl, won't you back it up? That's the Wobble song. It's gross. Listen to it. It's hilarious. I don't know what it's called. But I'll start the next episode with it.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
All right.
Let's
see
do
ya.
that.
I'm rambling too much. I'm way too excited.
I gotta pee.